Just do it!
Welcome to The Know, I'm Brian.
I'm Ben.
One of the biggest releases of the year, Red Dead Redemption 2, is now less than 2 months away, so we gotta finish up Spider-Man, clear the decks, because it looks like it is gonna be pretty epic when it finally comes out.
Oh yeah, in addition to a giant, beautiful open world, the game is also going to feature a big cast of characters when it releases on October 26th.
Real big. And
yeah.
we got a lot more information about who is gonna be in the game, particularly the members of Dutch Vanderlyn's gang, which makes sense because the gang, it's basically the focal point of the entire game.
Oh yeah, so here's a rundown of everyone they mentioned, and after that, we'll get to a few more plot details we learned.
Ooh, awesome. All right, so Rockstar rolled out the bios for the characters in a long string of tweets yesterday, then posted them all to their official site. In all, they gave us details on nearly 24 characters who will be in the game.
Of course, they had bios for Dutch Vanderlyn, the gang leader who is described as idealistic, anarchic, charismatic, well-read, well-lived, but possibly starting to unravel under the pressures of the encroaching modern world.
Maybe an indication that the gang is starting to crack up a little bit.
Yeah, and then you got Arthur Morgan, who you'll control throughout most of the game. He's Dutch's most dependable and capable enforcer since he was a boy. The outlaw life is all Arthur has ever known. Sharp, cool-headed, and ruthless, but with his own sense of honor, a man who gets the job done.
Other gang members include Bill Williamson, a hot-headed ex-soldier, and Javier Escuela, a bounty hunter and Mexican revolutionary.
We also get info on a younger John Marston, described as an orphan street kid who Dutch took under his wing. Along with Arthur Morgan, he's considered a protege of Dutch's.
Then there's a new recruit, Charles Smith, who Rockstar calls virtually unbeatable in a fight. Ooh, I want to play him. And there's the career criminal and hitman Micah Bell. He kind of looks like a blonde Sam Elliott. He looks awesome. He's got 2 guns. It's sweet.
I'm invested in this game already.
Yeah.
There's Sadie Adler, who's looking for revenge after the murder of her husband, and Hosea Matthews, Dutch's closest friend and a master con artist.
We also got to look at the scrappy Abigail Roberts, who is the mother of young Jack Marston. He's just a kid in this game. He's described as being carefully watched over by his many aunts and uncles.
There's also Uncle, a hanger-on to the gang who loves his booze. Maybe just don't leave him in charge of babysitting.
Yeah. There's nothing drunks love better than watching kids. We also saw the smart and ambitious Lenny Summers, as well as the gentlemanly con man Josiah Trelawney.
Damn, this is a big gang!
They got 2 con men.
2 con men, yeah.
It's crazy. All right, we're not done. There's the Irish thief Sean McGuire and the sneaky crook Mary Beth Gaskell.
Karen Jones is a hard-drinking scam artist, and Tilly Jackson is described as savvy, resilient, and dependable.
A lot of drinkers in this game.
Yeah, we're noticing a trend.
Yeah, the gang even has its own accountant/loan shark, Leopold Strauss, and Reverend Swanson, a former clergyman who has lost his way and fallen in with some bad folks.
My type of clergyman.
Yeah.
Rounding out the gang is Susan Grimshaw, who seems to serve as the den mother, and Molly O'Shea, a love interest of Dutch's who's described as too high-strung for a life on the run.
Of course, every camp needs a cook, and that is Pearson, who is described as a jolly degenerate.
Sounds like we have a pretty motley crew that they've assembled.
Yeah. Meanwhile, we also got a few more plot details about the game thanks to The Hollywood Reporter, which talked to 2 of the game's staff, Josh Bass, art director at Rockstar San Diego, and Aaron Garbett, director of art at Rockstar North.
Right, so now as we know, the game serves as a prequel to the first Red Dead Redemption, and it follows the exploits of the Vanderlyn gang.
And like we said earlier, you play as Arthur Morgan, who is Dutch's most trusted enforcer. Bass said that Arthur was adopted into the game as a young boy. He considers the gang to be his family. He added, Dutch has given his life some much-needed purpose, and the gang has served as the one positive and constant in Arthur's life. It's
Sounds
weird
like
to describe the
role
gang
model.
as, it's the positive influence of his life.
Yeah.
You got a fucked up life, my friend.
Okay, yeah, maybe. We already know a lot about the game's setting, turn of the century America, as the 1800s were giving way to the 1900s. It was a period in history when the Wild West was drawing to a close and more modern civilization was being born.
Seems like a little bit of a Wild Bunch influence. Did you ever watch that movie?
No, I didn't.
Oh, it's great. Wild Bunch. Go watch
Adding
it.
it to my list.
Sam Peckinpah, he's the shit. As for why they centered this game around Dutch's gang, Bass said, Dutch's presence loomed over the original Red Dead Redemption, and his influence on events was a big inspiration for the setting and direction of Red Dead Redemption 2. We all wanted to know more about him and the gang. What was it like riding in that gang? What led them to the events of the original gang? What happened to them along the way?
It's definitely setting up the events of Red Dead Redemption, where you played as John Marston and you hunted down your old gang.
Bass went on to say, in Red Dead Redemption 2, you get to see that gang, including Marston, at the peak of their notoriety, and at the very moment things begin to fall apart.
Oh, cool. We also know that you're going to spend a lot of your time pulling off heists and robberies and getting out of town just ahead of the law.
So, that's about all we know at this point. What did you guys think of Rockstar's reveal of more of the characters in Red Dead Redemption 2? Let us know in the comments.
And for all of your Red Dead Redemption 2 news, be sure to like this video, and if you're new around here, subscribe to the know. Of course, they had bios for Dutch van der Linde, the gang leader who is described as idealistic, anarchic, all right, has ever known. Sharp, cool-headed, and ruthless, but with a man who has a sense of honor. A man who gets the job done. Yeah, I'll restart that. There's Sadie Adler, who is looking to revenge